What's going on, guys? On today's episode, it is part 2 of our toy hunt to Melbourne, Australia, along with me with fellow collectors Scott Crusher and my dad, as we look to find some really cool items to add into our collections. Saturday started bright and early, big breakfast, and then as you saw, we hit up a really good vintage and modern toy shop called Aron's Collectibles. One cool Star Wars figure that I found while digging through the wall of Star Wars was the vintage collection VC01. So Dengar, where it all started. Had to pick him up. I'm not sure if this is a original or if it's a re-release. So if you know, leave me a comment. I haven't done the research on to figure that out yet, but I knew VC01, which I've never seen before in person. I had to pick him up, and it was only like 15 bucks, bundled up with everything else. 15 bucks, so I wasn't skipping out on that. The card is a bit damaged, and but VC01, guys, happy man. Got some bendy figures here. I know my dad's hunting those down, so I'll have to let him know that they're here. This is a 1979 hand puppet of Hulk. Hulk smash. There's some really cool Tiger handhelds. I love these things. I have a couple of them, but not those two. Damn, that X-Men one is just nice as. A bunch of Brave Star here. Really good condition. Not a line that I collect, but really cool to see. Sure, Scotty's gonna pick up something from the Mighty Max cabinet here. If I was going to get anything, a bit of shark for sure. As I said, Aron's Collectibles had an array of vintage figures from the 70s, 80s and 90s, but also a whole lot of modern toys as well. So it was a great opportunity for me just to wander around and have a look at everything quite quickly before I started picking things up and creating a pile. So guys, with the hype of Buffy set to return, I'm pretty sure these things are going to start raising in price. This is first wave. So you got the Master, there's Xander, and Cordelia. What else we got? Angel from the spin-off, his own show. So the first thing we did when we got to Aron's Collectibles was actually speak with Aron and a few of the other staff members that were working that day. One, we wanted to find out if it was okay to film, which it was, and two, just to get to know each other. It's great just meeting people that own these stores and are collectors themselves. So we just got to have a few good laughs and just get to know each other a little bit better. Just have a look at the flocking on Mossman.
I never paid attention at school.
And for that price, like, I'm thinking of upgrading. Like, that's a real big consideration there. It didn't take us long to find something to add in our collection, and I say we is because Scotty and I found a shelf full of Kenner Robin Hood figures. Now these figures look like they had just come off the pack. Their accessories were all there, all their clothing pieces were there, and they were just in pristine condition. So straight away we knew a few of these figures were coming home with us. And when I say a few, we took the whole shelf. I took a couple, Scott took a couple, and we just added them into our collection. So the figures that I picked up was Little John. Now he's got his accessory bow. Now just look at the incredible detail on this. You can tell by the way the belt hangs and the cloth accessories on him that this thing has just come off card. Like, it's so hard. There's so many different pieces of these figures to put together if you're trying to collect them loose, and that's the way I was doing it. But to see this like this straight away, this is 100% complete. Not going to get any better than this unless you buy a mint on card and take it off the card yourself. The last figure I picked up from the Kenner Robin Hood figures was Friar Tuck with his staff as well. Now Friar Tuck, exactly the same. This is a straight off card, clean representation of the figure. Like, I've never seen it that clean before. And if you don't know, this Kenner figure is just a repurpose of the Gamorrean Guard from the Star Wars Kenner line. So they've just used the same body mold and put a different head on. So pretty cool to see him in such a clean condition. Really nice. So guys, I spend a lot of the morning just digging around in the cabinets, looking at all the things at the back of the cabinets, and I learned that from the previous day where there were just so many things hidden away that you just didn't see on your first trip around. So I really took my time just trying to videotape everything, and also just trying to find anything that added into my collection. Again, there was this beautiful Star Wars display of the vintage figures and heaps of Star Wars modern figures, and I couldn't help myself but just pick up a few more of those more rare modern day figures, if you want to call them, from the 90s and onwards, and add them into collection. So I can't show you them singly. I'm just going to show you this nice overview that I picked up, and it was really focused on droids. I wanted to pick up a whole bunch of different droids and alien creatures that, again, I don't normally see here, and add them into my collection. So you can see there's quite a few Star Wars figures here. So now I'm not even considering my bag size. I'm just picking up stuff, and we'll deal with that later. So I picked up a few Star Trek figures from the Playmate series. There's not much jumping out on me on this shelf, but it's so cool to start seeing a fair few of these out in the wild. How are we finding Aron's collectibles?
My wallet's hurting.
Oh boy. Yeah, we've got a good pile. What about you, Scotty? You finding some stuff?
I'm definitely finding some stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've been here once before. Everything's well priced, and there's a lot of variety. And again, it's about looking beyond what's at the front of these shelves. And yeah, there's just so much to see.
Turtles.
Oh,
So much turtles. It's everywhere. I love it. The other great part about Aron's collectibles, and especially on this Saturday, is that Aron and his team had an upstairs section of the store open. Not always open, but on this particular day, it was open for customers to go up. So we went up to have a look what else was available upstairs, and just again have some more in-depth chats with Aron and his team around what they have planned for the future of the store, any unique sort of items and things like that. And there was all these little rooms, and in each room there was just tons of tubs and toys and magazines and statues and just so much up there to look through. And Aron was kind enough just to show us in each of them. Now, Aron did see that I was picking up a lot of carded Star Wars figures, and he said to me, "Hey, do you collect these carded Star Wars figures? Because I've got tubs of them upstairs." And I went, yeah, of course. Let's go have a look. I love to tub dive. You guys know that. So we went through, we slid through this little gap between two shelves, and then in I was, 5 tubs of Star Wars figures, just rummaging through. It was heaven for me. It was a great opportunity just to get behind the scenes and dig a little deeper. So I found a whole bunch more in those tubs, and yeah, I couldn't thank Aron enough for allowing us to do that. But along with that, Aron brought out a whole bunch of like old magazines and catalogs and brochures and stuff like that, and he actually gifted us one. So I don't know if you guys remember, but comic shop news. So these were like a free comic shop news that you would get. It's like a newspaper article, and it would just have everything that was upcoming. But the reason I wanted to grab this was just the cool artwork of The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What a fantastic movie from the 90s. And when I saw it, it was more of a wow. So he said you can have that, and he gave it to us. But really appreciate Aron just showing us into the back of these rooms, but also showing us a few of these little snippets and a lot of card back and instructions from 80s and 90s toys as well. So there was a lot of cool stuff still that just had to be sorted, had to be priced up and put out for sale. So yeah, I'd love to do that again. So guys, one of my favorite movies as a kid from Disney was The Rescuers. I just found a Bianca and a Bernard, little bendy figures. How cool is that? So if you've been following the channel for a while, then Lord of the Rings was high on my list in 2024. Went really hard at that. Kind of finished up what I wanted, but just in the back there we've got the Lady Galadriel, only 19 bucks, so might pick that up on card, chuck him on my pile. Oh, you know me, guys. When I see a T1000 exoskeleton, oh, might have to add him into my pile. Little army builder there.
How do you condense a 2-hour movie down to like 10 minutes or something? So it's absolutely fantastic, fans. Check it out. It's an Empire Strikes Back story of record. Very cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
You turn the page. You turn the page whenever a nerd says, "Oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen."
One of the last items I added to my pile at Aron's Collectibles was this Dr. McCoy figure, mint on card. So I've been collecting Star Trek figures on card when I find them. I've said it previously, getting a bit hard to get. I do have quite a lot of these now, but I didn't have Dr. McCoy. Found him at a really good price and added it to my collection. So guys, we've been in the store now for probably about 2.5 hours, just chatting, rummaging through the tubs, looking through all the cabinets, making sure I've got enough footage to make this video. And it's getting to that point of day where we need to get moving. We need to wrap up and talk to Aron about getting a bundle deal. And what a deal Aron did. Like, he did a really good deal that it made me go, oh, could I get more? But we had to catch up on lost time from the Friday. Our itinerary was jam-packed for Saturday. So we bundled it all up, we shook hands. But before we left, we had a chat with a fellow Sydney-sider who had made the trip down as well, Michael, who is a fellow collector and subscriber to the channel. He was down there for the big toy fair that was happening on the Sunday, and we just had a good chat, got to know each other, what we collect. I saw that Michael was picking up a few cool items that really resonate in my collection as well. So it was really good to just get to know you, mate, and have that quick chat. I do want to give a shout out to Joel, who I met when we were upstairs at Aron's Collectibles. Now, Joel was a subscriber to my channel, and he just expressed that he loved watching the content that I was putting out. So a big thank you for that, mate. We just had a chat about what he was looking for and what I was looking for. He was looking forward to the toy show on Sunday as well, as much as we were. So it was just good to meet these guys and just get to know a few more collectors in the community. We're jamming all our stuff into our hire car, and we're off to a few places that are kind of like big antique flea market, those American style big like warehouse sheds where each little area is a different seller. And the first one we went to is Retro Picker Haven, and oh my god, I'd never seen a place that had so much stuff. Obviously we were looking for the bright colors of vintage 80s and 90s toys and memorabilia, but these places were full of everything. There were video games just stacked up, lots of antiques, things like that, a lot of car parts, a lot of old train magazines, which I know my dad was having a good dig through. But you can see the footage, it just shows an enormous amount of different little sellers all in this one place. So you could spend a whole day just at this first location, but we were crunched for time. So Scotty and I and my dad, we were just sort of whizzing around, just trying to find and see if we could find anything to add into our collections. I did end up finding a couple of pieces. Doctor Who fans. I have no idea who any of these people are. So just a massive array of old retro games here. Something I love, but they're just getting so expensive. That's Sega Master System game. Heaps of Atari. Too cool. Check out all these like promo discs, demo games and things like that. Got it for the Xbox 360. There was nothing really major. It was great to see a lot of stuff, but for my collection, I didn't pick up that much. And what I did pick up was a little baggie of Star Wars figures. So all the modern guys, just some background fill characters. But I did pick up this guy who's from one of the comic book 2-pack collections, which is a little harder to get. But yeah, so just a little baggie of Star Wars figures. But I also found the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 Neutralizer figure. So I don't have too many of those figures for that line to go, but Neutralizer was one that I wanted to add in. So I just grabbed a couple of those. But that was it for Pickers Retro Haven. The place is a fantastic place just to go there and wander around for hours on end. But we didn't have hours on end. Straight back to the car. But before that, we noticed there's a little donut van sitting out front. So quick donut, back in the car, and off we went. So our next stop is another antique store. It is the Waverley's Antique Bazaar, and this place was even bigger. So much there, and there are a lot of people at this place. The day was on-off raining, so we were pretty much running from the car into these places. We were getting a bit wet, so we were trying to go faster and faster in the day, just trying to fit as much as we could in. And again, just looking for the bright colors of toys as we whizzed through. Lots of cool stuff to see. A lot of cool stuff that I already had in my collection, or I found was just a little bit overpriced. So really nothing from Waverley Antiques Bazaar for me. Most of the other guys didn't pick up too much from this place either. The 2003 Turtles. I'm not sure what this is called, but that top piece there, that's definitely just another reuse of the pizza thrower. Look at that. That's wicked. So a whole bunch of Simpsons memorabilia. Shanko HD, his YouTube channel. He'd be all over this stuff. Loves his Simpsons.
This is a double feature. So this is actually one whole VHS case.
So Waverley Antique Bazaar has just an abundance of different little booths, different little sellers, all selling different things. One thing I did notice was there are a lot of video game stalls, a lot of NES cartridges and Xbox and Xbox 360. So it was really good just to look over these. A lot of like toy, I guess you would say, sort of those more kiddie toys, lots of that sort of stuff. We did see these cool Stargate magazines that you could get from the newsagent back in the day. There were some cool old comics there, and there were even these awesome Hulk smash gloves that my son would have loved, but he would have just terrorized me after. If these things weren't reproduction, I would have picked them up. They were cool paddle pop covers depicting classic movie lines and TV shows. So guys, we're heading back into the city at this point, and we wanted to go hit up a comic shop. So we're heading to Comics R Us, which Scotty has been to, and knew that at the back of the comic shop there was a little section that had vintage toys. So not only did we get the comics, but we also get the toys. And just walking into a comic shop, the smell of the fresh comics just hit you in the face. Such a nostalgia feeling from back in the day. I don't get to new comic shops very much. There's none in our local area. So walking into here and just seeing all the fresh comics, but then walking to the back and seeing a bit of the vintage figures that are there. I noticed on the wall there's plenty of Star Wars. Nothing that I needed to add into my collection. I had most of that. I did take the opportunity to ask the guys that were working there that day if they did have any Sectars or Star Wars Ewoks comics from back in the day. Unfortunately, they didn't have any, but my dad did pick up one magazine, and that was the Famous Monsters Star Wars Special Edition. These were just monster books that Scott and my dad were flicking through, and of course that one being Star Wars, my dad grabbed it out and just picked that up. So from 1977, what a cool magazine just to look back on. As I said, I didn't find vintage Ewoks comic books, but while I was just standing there at the counter and the other guys were picking up some things, I started perusing the new comic books, and what did I see? I saw Star Wars Ewoks was a new comic book now. So there were actually 4 issues for this, so I ended up picking up all 4 issues of this just to have a quick read on the flight back. Okay, just down the road from Comics R Us is the Chapel Street Bazaar, the final location in our itinerary for the day. We've only got about 40 minutes until it closes, so straight into there. Scott, my dad and I are whizzing around trying to look for something. Didn't find any toys or anything like that that stood out to us. Had this section full of old movie posters, and we all just stood there probably for about 25 minutes just flicking through, having a really good look. I did pick up some of these, but I do have regret that I didn't pick up that Stargate movie poster. But I was super excited to pick up these 3 posters. These are daytime posters, so these are posters that would have been in the front of cinema windows back in the day. But we start with the 1997 Godzilla movie poster. I love the artwork on this thing. I just think it's so cool. Just the foot, giving you no other hint to what he looks like. But along with that, from the 90s, I also found this Phantom poster. The movie Billy Zane played the Phantom in. I just thought that looked so beautiful. I was picking that one up. And the last one, I think I got the most excited when I was flicking through, and that is the Small Soldiers poster. This thing just screams what I love in my collection. So those 3 posters I was picking up and bringing home with me. So guys, our car is full. We grab a couple of beers and we head back to the room just to go through what we've picked up for the day, share a few memories, and just have a few pre-drinks before heading out for dinner and meeting up with another collector in Simon, who met us at an Italian restaurant where we had a big feed and just a few drinks into the night. Also had my first limoncello, which I wasn't a massive fan of, but still, when on holidays and just trying out new things, why not? After that, we went and had even more drinks and beers at a local pub down the road. It was a really windy and wet night, so we decided to pack up early, and when I say early, it was about 11 p.m. Head back to the room and try to get a big night's sleep before the big toy show on Sunday. So just want to shout out Simon. It was awesome meeting you and just getting to know you and spending a few hours just chatting about what we love just as a little group. I thought that was really enjoyable. Thank you for being a bit of a tour guide for us that night as well. So next episode, guys, will be all about the toy show, and I can't wait to show you that one. I think that one's just going to be a massive event. So until next time, guys, happy hunting.